Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day number 292 on our updates. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock in California, 4 a.m. in Ukraine. And as always, welcome and thank you. Got a very, as you can see by the title, very interesting update tonight. And we knew it was coming. Tonight, we're going to break it down for you. Thank you for everything that you do. Thanks to the mods. And as always, most of the time, welcome my partner in here. Good morning to you, sir.
Oh, good evening. Good evening from Ukraine.
Nice to see you. How you feeling?
Nice to be here with you. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
Got a little heat?
Yeah, there were some power off periods, but it's okay.
Yeah, I always know when the power's off because I call him because we talk all day long prepping for the streams, and I call him and I see nothing but black screen. I say, no power. So glad to see you have some light right now, because if you're not doing something, you want to save your power banks. It's logical. You don't want to waste the power. So, all right, well, we've got a full update tonight, and we're going to jump right in. Couple of things. Russia withdrew from Kherson and basically robbed everything from Kherson, and now they're destroying it. So the city that was theirs, they now nonstop shell and destroy. This tells the world what their intention is.
Yeah, and this tells the world what their real attitude to people there, and to this territory and to the city. They don't care about people. They don't care about Putin's desires and his dreams. That's it.
Well, it's supposed to be the big city of the region, which it is, and it's ours. It's just logical, and just invite everyone to think about it tonight. If this was your city, let's say it's whatever country you're from, and it's your city, as they claim it is theirs, would you shell your own city? I doubt it. So it does show you the intention. Now, on some really good news breaking just over the last few hours, the X marks the spot. Very key bridge on the road system between Melitopol and Konstantinivka has been destroyed, taken out, impassable by HIMARS. So this is just unfolding over the last few hours, and it's what we need. We need more of this that will stop a supply lines coming in and coming out of Melitopol. So Ukraine can do the job if we can get you the weapons.
Yeah, I remember we had something the same, really close things before liberation of Kherson.
Correct.
Who knows?
You're exactly right. We were having some strikes. We struck Novakhovka Bridge, and we were making some strikes at Antonivsky, and the next thing you know, bye-bye Kherson. We took it. Melitopol, key city to take the entire southern region and Crimea. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes open for that. Now, today is a special celebratory day, December the 12th. You can see the Ukraine Armed Forces logo in the upper right. Today is Ground Forces Day. They celebrate those that work on the ground. Have a little video they put out. I'm going to play it, and then we'll get your thoughts on your military. Here it is. We celebrate today and honor ground forces in Ukraine. Right there. So that's actually a little video that Ukraine put out, just saying thank you, showed you the different types of ground forces, and Zelensky there at the end standing with some soldiers. Awesome.
We have saying in Ukraine about the ground forces that the missiles of and attacks of different troops can reach the territory of enemy, but the only time which the territory can be claimed as ours, it's when the foot of ground force soldier will step on that and stay there. This is then it's confirmed. So this is important day.
Kind of like the book of Joshua, where God told Joshua, if Russia wants to get biblical, we'll get biblical. Everywhere you place your foot is yours. So we'll throw it right back at them, and we're putting our feet on the ground with some of the best soldiers in the world, bar none. We just need to make sure we supply them and help them, and we're all doing our part. Dmitry Kuleba and President Zelensky came out today, but specifically here, Kuleba came out and said yes and no. You can see Kuleba there, foreign minister. You can see a picture of Kyiv with very little power. And he said, yes, we're going to continue to struggle with power. But the answer is no. We will not surrender. We will not give up. We will not quit. We will fight until we win the war, even if we have to go to a village and build a fire. That was the quote. So that's the kind of leadership we have. No backing down.
Absolutely. And people encouraging each other, giving advice, where to get generator, how to charge the phone, where to get and buy with the best price power banks and so on. And it's everywhere, and people encouraging. So like everywhere, like when kids being limited with something, for example, or people being limited, they say, it's just for the victory. It's a temporary.
It's just for the victory.
Then we will enjoy it twice. Yes.
Would you say that we've seen an attitude adjustment in central and western Ukraine? It's, the East has been dealing with this up close, hearing the shelling nonstop, whatever. But it seems now Ukraine as a whole, central and west, realize everybody has to pay a price to win this war.
Yes, just some, I would say. Infrastructure, people on a position, they experience it much more. People please understand, our people doing the best, small businesses doing the big business is doing the best for people. For people would not see any big difference. I mean, people putting the electric generator to have a nice coffee, to continue support the country with the taxes and paying the salaries and giving the people services. It's important. And so some people still, I say, okay, today is on a generator. It's okay. I will get the coffee. So some people still don't maybe realize so deep as I would wish, for example. But yes, because of the blackouts temporary, and situation with the power grid, yes, much more people are realizing. In the public chats, it's everywhere that yes, be careful. I mean, we stay strong. Don't worry. So I think it's getting more understanding coming.
I'm wondering if everybody heard you clearly when you said two words: temporary blackout. Meaning, it's temporary. It's going to be defeated and we're going to win. Let's go here.
Yes.
It's looking like Slovakia is going to become another bulldog. They want to join Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And Russia is basically inviting bulldogs to get up close to their borders. Slovakia saying today, we're going to open a repair base to help Ukraine repair MiG-29s and their aircraft that they have, and we want to give them our MiG-29s. And right now, they're trying to get it approved, trying to get it, in agreement with other nations. But if I had to guess, they're going to find a way to push that through to get some MiGs into Ukraine. So we're thankful as always. And again, Slovakia has been in the news the last couple of days. So we're thankful for that nation, 100%.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Slovakia.
Well, people ask, do sanctions work? You and I have been telling everyone for the entire war it doesn't. They can't get the components. They can't get chips. They can't get fuel. They can't get whatever. They can get it. Russian Federation producing out of Ukraine information and other nations as well. 40 missiles per month minimum, KH-101 in calibers. These are the big boys. They continue to create. We already knew that. We discussed that with some of the scraps Ukraine found after the last mass missile attack. So Kyiv came out today and said, we know right now they have enough supply for 3 to 5 large scale, 100 missiles in the air at a time attack. And this is not S-300s, folks. This is the calibers and the KH-101s. But he said they have enough right now, we know, for 3 to 5 massive attacks. But world, please be aware. Not only what they're looking to buy from Iran and are buying from Iran, they're still producing their own.
And it is just what do we know, which is like open. I think much more are producing and much more help they're getting through different ways, like hidden ways. But still, one thing I would add, our country, our guys, by the way, it was Ukrainian, most of Russian missiles they're using now was designed in Ukraine.
Correct.
And by Ukrainians. And more, I think like the most was produced in Ukraine, in my personal opinion. Because during this Soviet Union time, it was a lot of things were, producing like that in Ukraine on Yuzhmash and other factories, big factories. But our guys not sitting and wasting the time. Right now, I think the big work at doing on all of these constructors, bureaus, and they in designing. And I think we will see the answers soon.
It was reported today on lots of places that a majority of the missiles that are hitting Ukraine right now, to validate what you're saying, were made in Ukraine and given to Russia when the arms were given up. People may wonder, well, how many arms were in Ukraine? I remind you, they had the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Third largest. And thousands of missiles. Remember, they were, prior to 1990, 91, a part of the Soviet Union. I don't know if it was you or Rostic or somebody else. A few years ago, I was out. It has to be somewhere between Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, Ternopil, somewhere in western Ukraine. And we were on a road, driving, going between cities. And whoever was driving me, there was a sign. And the sign pointed to what now is non-existent. And we went down that road. I don't think it was you. We went down that road and we looked and we couldn't get close. But there was the old Soviet bunkers and missile silos. It was like on a hill. And you could see the supply yards, everything there. And I said, what is this place? He said, this is where some of our missiles were. It was a massive complex somewhere there. So, Ukraine gave all of that up, all of it. And now it's being fired on their own heads. It's terrible. Now, Belarus, additionally staying in the news just yesterday or the day before, will transport the grain, which is not going to happen, by the way. So today we get understanding that I guess they just like moving military pieces around, but we have equipment coming from Russia back into Belarus and pushing down toward the northern border. There on the graphic, the blue line would be northern Ukraine, the green would be Belarus, and then you have Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and everything to the right's Russia. So we do have confirmation, once again, more tanks, more supplies coming into Belarus. Could be a distraction, could be the game of chess, but it cannot be ignored. We have friends on the northern border. Good friends.
Yeah, and I think everything on the Belarusian side they're doing on their territory, yes, they're preparing and will be used for the war in Ukraine. But I think at this moment there is looks like there is no possibility for them to attack through their borders. I mean, at least like with the ground forces. They're using the missiles, they're using the jets, the bombers, but I think physically they will not cross the border from the Belarusian side. This is what I think.
Belarus is being used as a diversion, but it can't be ignored. That's why we have to hold a pocket of soldiers there.
Yeah.
So that even if without an invasion,
yes.
we have to leave X amount of soldiers up there on the northern border, and really, really good soldiers. Now, what is Russia's position on this? Peskov came out, made some statements about the war in Ukraine, and here's just another example I'm going to play for you of how open this war is now.
К чему мы движемся, на ваш взгляд? Все только хуже будет становиться дальше?
Ну, мы не движемся, мы уже приехали на станцию под названием «Конфронтация». Нас никто не любит, и любить особо нас не собирается. И нам это не нужно.
Ну, кто-то же все-таки любит.
Кто-то любит.
There you have it. We're not moving. We've already arrived at the station. That's not a propagandist, although it is. It's Peskov. They're all propagandists, but that's the official spokesman for the Kremlin. When there's no moving, we've arrived at the station. It's called confrontation. Nobody loves us. We don't care. We've got our own plan. And then the guy interviewing there on the Russian news says, well, somebody loves us. And Peskov says, well, yeah, somebody loves us. There you have it. It's open. Open war.
Mm-hmm.
He would have never said that 6 months ago. Never.
Yeah, correct.
He would have said, well, we have a special operation. No, we've arrived at the station of confrontation. The attitude
now it's open. The less, more and poor propaganda people on the Russian TV using the war without being punished for that, let's say. And it means that it's coming more and more in real. Plus Putin, he already admitted that we're fighting, we attacking, we taking territory. So now it's open. Absolutely.
I'm Peter the Great. I'm doing what Peter couldn't do, and I have the Sea of Azov. Exactly. Let me show you a picture. Tell me what this place is.
Oh, yeah, it's a drama theater in Mariupol.
For the first few months.
It seems to me I've seen just...
Go ahead.
I've seen just the front one. I've seen the front one. It's not a post or something. Maybe a month ago, just the front wall, but not everything around.
Yeah,
and
so what
I've seen the video.
They've done, they've surrounded it with a fake image, and they're not going to rebuild it. It's just, let's just cover it up. You say, well, how do you know they're not going to rebuild it? Maybe that's a construction wall. Where would be the room for the equipment to be in there to rebuild it? It's not a reconstruction wall. It's what they've done.
No.
And this is interesting. I'll show you. You can see it there. Let's go into Mariupol, and let's turn on some layers here. And let me find that for everybody. I know where it's at. It's right here. So right here, we're looking down on it. And let's go back to this. You can see the sidewalks in the back with the circular. And then if I come here, you can see the same. So let me just put our little friend down here, and you can see what it's supposed to look like. Beautiful. And now you're standing in front of that drama theater. But what have they done to it? Destroyed it. Killed a lot of people there, and they're still there, buried in that basement, and just put a wall up. Very, very sad, but telling of what happens. Daily interesting fires is what I call this all over Russia. They're happening every day. Here's one from this morning. This is Moscow. You can see the snow and hear the sirens. It's every day, literally. We read the news or we get information where this mall is destroyed, this business is destroyed, this enterprise is destroyed. Can it really be that many fires happening, or is something happening?
We have it like we call it okay. This is the new tradition, like traditional morning in Russia, and in the morning this is how our like news starts. The new fire, new something, and every time our people, I mean, joking, yes, it's like they were smoking in the wrong places all the time, but I think something going on there.
I do too, and I think it could even be Ukrainian sympathizers, that there are some Russians that hate what's happening. Maybe they're doing it. Maybe there's Ukrainian special forces. Maybe there's, I don't know what it is. We know drones are hitting. They're not hitting all those places, though, but they've hit some military targets. But you're right, and I think it's an interesting perspective for the world to see that the morning headline news in Ukraine every day is what's on fire in Russia. That tells you it's just abnormal that there's this quantity of large fires every day. Now, let's go to the main topic of the night. About a week ago, we were talking about the exchange from the United States for Brittany Griner for Victor Bout.
Yeah.
The world knows my opinion. I received a lot of hate mail in regard to that because people...
Yeah, but...
Man, people just smoked me because I was standing up for a U.S. Marine. People smoked me because I thought that maybe a guy who served our country and took an oath was at least equally important to another American citizen who has rights and freedom, but would not even stand for our own national anthem. And man, I got some hate mail. So I don't care. But I've got something for you tonight. For every one of you that sent me hate mail, I told you. I'm sorry to say that. You're never supposed to say that. I told you. But on this one, I told you. I told you this was going to happen. We've exchanged a basketball player for someone who is going to take extreme prominence in Russia and this war against Ukraine immediately. Look at this. This is the Liberal Democratic Party of Russia. This is Zhirinovsky who founded it. This party is like, Zhirinovsky was basically Vladimir Putin's, or one of his mentors. He recently died. So all of this mentality, this post-Soviet Union, but wanting the new Soviet Union, new imperialism, this is this party. This is the LDPR that was formed by Zhirinovsky. I'm going to show two more pictures, and then I'll get your thought on this. So we exchange, we send back Victor Bout. Here is a picture. How important was Zhirinovsky? Here is, he just passed away weeks ago, Vladimir Putin attending his funeral. Okay. Now, what do we have? We have the new poster child for the LDPR, Victor Bout. This gentleman has went from the prison to the palace in 7 days. Take a peek at what happened tonight in Moscow.
Сегодня я приглашаю на нашу сцену человека, который вернулся, который с нами, Виктор Анатольевич Bout.
They're welcoming Victor Bout to the party. He now will be a prominent leader of the party. There he is on the stage, being celebrated. Brother?
And it looks like from the sources I used today, I know this is like basically United States sent a new leader and a head of political party in Russia.
It's what we told everybody.
And
No.
it's number one and most. I mean, they didn't have after the death of Zhirinovsky. They didn't have any like I would say the
Litso.
yeah, the face, the person which representative and quite influent person of that who could represent honorable according their understanding the party. So until the United States didn't help. So and to understand, we will not go there deep with the Zhirinovsky, but the most crazy thoughts, crazy ideas about sending nuclear weapon to the United States or Great Britain. Before that period, it was during the life of Zhirinovsky, it was his words. He was saying, "We need to kill them all. We need to destroy them all. Let's destroy the European countries. Let's destroy the percent." This party, after the death of its leader, now it looks like they got a new leader.
They did. And he came straight from federal detention in the United States. He's already been welcomed. He's on the platform. He will become the face of the LDPR. We shared this with everybody. It was obvious something of this nature would happen. And now he's not only on the stage, he's already being interviewed on all mainstream media. I've got a little clip here of him being interviewed on the Russian Times, RT, major news outlet, talking about his food in an American prison.
Меню стандартное в Федеральном бюро тюрьмы, оно не меняется. Представляете, все эти почти 12 лет, которые я провел, да, меню, менялось, может быть, то есть среда это гамбургер с ужаренной до смерти картофелем фри, да, четверг это курица, вот этот кусок, это как его, ножик буша, который
гигантского размера, который такой быть не может.
Которые пахнут так, что просто хочется, не буду говорить в эфир, но вот. И когда я, например, долго общался с начальниками этих служб, они говорили, что вам не нравится? Я говорю, вот извините, а вы сами вот это бы ели? Они говорят, ну а что, вот как бы это, что не нравится? Я говорю, ну просто это несъедобно. Это, говорю, даже не по-человечески. Я говорю, вы понимаете, я 2 года в тайской тюрьме, там больше отсидел. Насколько она была там ужасная, грязная, скучная. Вот. Но там хотя бы они давали любую еду, которую ты можешь заказать. То есть у них не было проблем, если я захотел что-то, да, там можно было, Алла мне заказывал, ну буквально спрашивал, что ты хочешь. То здесь ты просто, Марина, представляешь, когда ты 10 лет не пробовал чеснока, укропа, петрушки, земляники, понимаешь? И это же все накапливается, у тебя как-то... Ты знаешь, мне было страшно, вот когда я был в одиночке, на какой-то этап я потерял интерес к еде. Я жутко стал худеть, понимаешь, у меня просто вот при таком отношении оно как-то само собой ушло. Я стал себя заставлять есть через силу, представляешь, чтобы чисто, ну я понял, что если я сейчас вот, ну как бы так сказать, пойду дальше, я просто доведу себя до истощения. Я очень сильно потерял вес, потерял мышечную массу, потерял это, потому что, ну...
Почему ты заставлял себя есть?
Ну потому что опять я понял, что надо, иначе я должен...
Ради чего?
Ага.
Ради чего? Зачем надо? Кому надо? Не было отчаяния раз?
Нет, отчаяния не было. Знаешь, появилась...
Я ради мамы. Я ради мамы. Я знала, как это я приеду домой и упаду, если
вот.
я...
То же самое. Я сказал себе так, что если я буду больным, хилым...
Terrible prisons gave me hamburgers on Wednesday. And for 10 years, I never ate any dill for strawberries. Now will become a major face in Russian politics and will be pro-Putin and pro-destruction of the rest of the world.
No, I don't know how to comment that.
There's no comment.
Yes, sorry, but there is no comments. I think about like what if Ukraine would do now, something like that, like to.
Can we
Okay,
just
I
make
don't
this
know.
statement? Can we just make this statement? December the 12th, 2022. It's on video and saved forever. You will hear more about Victor Bout in this war, and it will grow day by day by day. They're going to turn him into a master propagandist and the face right behind Putin and Peskov and Lavrov. Mark my words. Because he has come out of the American prison for 10 years. We've brought our son home. That's what they said. Brought our son home. We'll see. We called it so far, but we'll see what happens. Let's close out with these couple of things tonight. President Zelensky, we interviewed 98% of our country today. They say even without electricity, even without water, but without Russia, President of Ukraine, the more the Russian Federation, hit us, and they hit on honesty and our dignity, that is, they hit unfairly, the more our people want to go through all of this with dignity, to go through with victory. Is he spot on?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, for us, it's for our country, it's like that, 100%.
We're going to stand.
We're gonna stand until victory, until our borders. We'll get our borders, not 90%, not 80%, and we will get our borders back, and we will get situation. We will fight for justice. For Russia, we take responsibility.
Does that include Crimea?
Yes.
And that will include the reparations for destroying your country and the war crime trials of this evil regime. That's the three things.
Yes, and I think we will stop when the negotiation will start, when we will get agreement on 50, I think up to maybe 100 kilometers from Ukrainian borders. They will move out all their weapons on the territory of Russia.
So we not only, and I know you're hearing stuff on the inside and you're whispering to us now, so we not only are going to kick them out of the country, then we're going to look for a demilitarized zone for at least 50 kilometers minimum.
We will demand it. We will demand it because there no more trust, no one word, no 1% of everything. Russia was lying to the world. If the other country are okay to believe they are lying, okay, not Ukraine. No.
That pushes us to this. Why would Ukraine not only want, of course, their sovereign borders, justice, reparations for destruction, demining of their territory, and prosecution of the evil regime and all of those who have committed acts of genocide, and additionally, at least a 50-kilometer buffer, demilitarized zone, a DMZ. Why? This is why right here we have our children turning in their homework in schools with their wish list for Santa Claus, and our kids have to write this. And here is a real note, real child. St. Nicholas, I want for Grandpa Volodya to come back from the war alive and healthy. Number 2, for the war to end and for us to win. Number 3, that everyone was healthy. Number 4, study well. Number 5, for Russia to die. And number 6, for Putin to die. What a tragedy that our children in Ukraine, I mean, that's a small child, this is their Santa list. This is why we have to have full country back and the buffer zone.
Yes, absolutely, and it will be in our kids' minds who Russia is. And yes, I think the future, when we get back Crimea, surely there will be no one ship there, no one military guy there. Well, we will be doing everything to place there the military bases, if in case of NATO, whatever, like, but and to use Ukrainian sea. I mean, thousands of dolphins are died because of the war there. I mean, Russia doesn't care about anything. They don't care about it. They care about the mines and so on. And I think Ukraine will make this region a pearl.
It is a pearl, and it's going to be made a pearl again.
Yes.
We lay it out simply. Those are the things, you said it yourself, but the truth is it's going to be a lot of bloodshed to get all that back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a high price.
But this really, yes, but it depends of the support of Ukraine.
Agreed.
With the weapon and political support.
Agreed.
It can make this war shorter. With the unity of the world, with the proper pressure on Russia, with the real sanctions, not just the words, and real help. I mean, the bigger help with the weapon. We are not a country who was looking for the war. We were not a country who wanted to bury the thousands and thousands, the hundreds of thousands of our people. But now we're fighting, and yes, we really help all the world help us against of that monster, and then help us to control it later.
Couldn't have said it any better. That's why we stand with you, bud. That's why we stand with you. Tomorrow I'm here. On Tuesday. Wednesday we'll have the update, but Wednesday's the day. I've been talking to New Jersey and New York all day. Everything's green light for our shipments over. So as always, thank you to the community. Thank you for everybody standing with Ukraine. We're going to keep doing this until victory. So much love. Thanks, bud.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's a heart from Ukraine.
Oh man, that one's coming from the heart. Heart from Ukraine. Good night to all.
Totally good night.